Welcome to Food Nation's Global Food Talk, Innovations and Solutions for Preventing Food Loss and Waste, a sustainable approach to value chain development. Today, we are very happy to be co-hosting with World Resource Institute. And if you have had any technical issues here from the beginning, I will apologize. We have had some local issues, but we are certain that everything is running perfectly fine right now. So, welcome everyone. The aim of our series of this Global Food Talk is to address how the world ensures food for everyone in a sustainable way. My name is Lise Valbom, and I'm the CEO of the public-private branding consortium Food Nation, and I've been looking very much forward to welcome all of you here today, live from our visitor center here in Copenhagen. This is where we showcase the strongholds of the Danish agriculture and food sector to all international stakeholders. So I would like to start by welcoming all of you from all over the world and also here in the studio. We have people with us from Brazil to Ghana and from Germany to China. So welcome everyone. It is important that we keep in contact this way, even though we cannot yet meet real life. We believe that keeping in contact and sharing experiences and collaborate is key to succeed with the green transition. The need for a green recovery and kickstart with focus on sustainable solutions after the COVID-19 is more important than ever. This is also why we are very pleased to present today's Global Food Talk as a prelude to the International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste on September 29. The goal of this day is to create awareness of the importance to food loss and waste, challenge the possible solutions, and to promote global efforts and collective actions toward meeting the Sustainable Development Goal target 12.3, a goal where we all need to halve the per capita waste of food at the retail and consumer level, and by doing it before 2030. We also need to reduce food loss and waste along the supply chains, and this is what we're going to focus on today. So let's talk. And let today's Global Food Talk inspire you all and initiate actions and next steps towards the green transition of the global food system. Today, our guests will motivate and share their ideas and experiences to a sustainable approach to value chain development and thereby minimize food loss and waste. And our speakers today, which you will see on the screen right now, is Minister of Food, Agriculture and Fisheries, Rasmus Prehn, Martina Otto, Head of Cities and Lifestyle at United Nations Environment Programme, Les Goodwin, Senior Fellow and Director Food Loss and Waste at World Resource Institute, Flemming Besenbacher, Chairman at Carlsberg Group, Carlsberg Foundation, and the think tank on prevention of food loss and waste, 1/3, Kim Vejby Hansen, CEO at FOSS, and Mauricio Graeber, CEO at Christian Hansen. This is powerful guests, and they have deep insight in the global food system and today's topic. These are people with high ambitions to creating change for a more sustainable future. This is why they're here today. Because the steps we take today will impact our future. I know this because this morning I got a letter from the future, and I will now share this letter with you.
To my lovely children and grandchildren, it is September 27 and the year is 2050. I'm standing here in our kitchen, fermenting some of the vegetables I harvested the other day from our garden, who are soon to go bad. To me, they're not waste, but a resource. It's strange to think, but in my youth it was not rare to see food that was lost or wasted throughout the households and the supply chain. Unlike today, it was not normal to have a digitalized food weighing system in your home to track your food handling. I am so thankful for the global actions the world has taken since 2021, when I was just a young woman. Back then, food loss and waste were a serious global challenge. The number of people affected by hunger had been on the rise since 2014, and tons of edible food was lost and wasted every day. Globally, around 1/3 of total global food production was wasted. I know it can be hard for you to imagine, but when I was young, we did not know how and if we could obtain a sustainable food system throughout the food value chain. What has happened is not just a change in the food system. No, the efficiency of our food system has been increased and food loss and waste has been reduced by investment in innovation, technologies and infrastructure. Waste is no longer an issue. It is considered a resource in other value chains. It was in the 2030s that advanced digitalized traceability systems were implemented across the global agriculture and food value chain to track and thereby reduce food loss and waste. It became regular to use byproducts from food production in various ways, so nothing was wasted. Byproducts from food production such as fish oil, proteins were sold as ingredients for high-value products. Others, such as crooked vegetables, were upcycled to new food products or used to produce biogas, whereas eggshells, for example, were incorporated in animal feed, completely in line with the spirit of the circular bioeconomy. In addition, harvesting methods were optimized and storage and transport solutions were digitalized to secure handling of food products throughout the value chain. The planet on which I see my grey hair, laugh lines and happy grandchildren today is the same planet on which we doubted its sustainable future just decades ago. But I want you to know, by standing together, sharing knowledge and experiences, history has taught us that we can overcome even the biggest challenges. Now the new sustainable world is no longer on her way. She's no longer a distant whisper in our ears. No, she's here, loud and proud as can be. The future has never looked brighter. With love, your grandmother.
Me, and hopefully all of you. And the letter set the scene for today's talk about actions that we need to take in order to move us to the future in 2050, as we had just described. This is where we have succeeded with reducing food loss and waste, and we all need to take the necessary actions. Here, innovations, bioscience, technologies, and collaboration are important tools. I'm quite sure that our next speaker can agree on this, because actions are needed when we look at the challenges ahead of us. I would now like to welcome Minister of Food, Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Rasmus Prehn, who will give his view on the importance of acting. Welcome to Minister Rasmus Prehn.
Dear all, thank you for participating today and for bringing this very important agenda into focus. I am very pleased to be part of Food Nation's Global Food Talks. The theme of this Global Food Talk could not be more relevant or urgent. As the world population grows, the planet's resources are coming under increasing pressure. Lost or wasted food could have fed many of the world's hungry and malnourished people. Food loss and waste is responsible for around 8% of the total emissions of greenhouse gases. If food loss and waste were a country, it would be the world's third largest emitter of CO2. The 29th of September marks the International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. It is an opportunity to inspire public and private actors to work together to find innovative solutions. Together, we can cut food loss and waste, we can reduce hunger and fight climate change, both of which are challenges that we need to tackle right now. Around the world, businesses strive to accelerate efforts to cut emissions and waste in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. These efforts have already resulted in solutions that contribute to reducing food loss and waste. Let me give you some examples. Certain ingredients can reduce the risk of yeast and mold spoilage in yogurt. Cooling technology can extend the durability and quality of food on its way from farm to consumer. Apps can provide consumers with an overview of shops and restaurants that have surplus food. This shows us that consumers, organizers, and companies can all make a difference and play an important role in changing our food systems. In Denmark, we have made it a national priority to prevent food loss and waste through different initiatives. You will meet one of them today, the think tank 1/3. 1/3 is based on a Danish tradition where both private and public stakeholders in the food value chains are involved in finding solutions. In the Danish food and agriculture sector, we find examples of technical skills that can reduce water and energy consumptions, cut carbon emission, and maximize the use of raw materials. We would like to share these Danish solutions with the rest of the world. I am proud to say that we have not wasted our time. We have set in motion several projects ranging from a farm to fork, and we have targeted multiple consumer groups. Denmark is playing an active role in this year's United Nations Food System Summit, where we are submitting game-changing solutions. At the same time, we have added a climate aspect to the national dietary guidelines, which we are certain will engage stakeholders and consumers. Next year, Denmark will once again host the World Food Summit, where leaders and experts from across the world will gather in Copenhagen to discuss sustainable food systems. On the 29th of September, we will once again celebrate our own National Food Waste Day in Denmark with the aim of raising consumer awareness. Our planet has enough resources to feed us all if we do it right. But there is no quick fix to this issue, and the journey will take time. Therefore, let us collaborate across nations and borders to turn this global challenge into an opportunity for ourselves and for the generations to come. Together, we can come up with the necessary innovations and solutions to prevent food loss and waste. Thank you for your time, and thank to Food Nation for organizing these Global Food Talks sessions.
Thank you, Minister Rasmus Prehn, for this inspirational speech, and thank you for taking steps in the right direction. Making food loss and waste a national priority is important. The ambitious and really relevant initiative, the think tank 1/3, is also a good accelerator to reach out for the SDG goal 12.3. So thank you for setting the framework for accelerating actions. And with these words, I would like to give the floor to Martina Otto, Head of Cities and Lifestyles at the UN Environment Programme, who is with us from France actually. UNEP is behind the Food Waste Index report that presents the most comprehensive data on food waste collection. Also, UNEP is one of the drivers behind this International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste on September 29. So Mrs. Otto today, she will set the scene by addressing the urgency of transforming the food systems to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 12.3. Mrs. Otto, the screen is yours.
For having me, it's a pleasure, and thank you for having organized these global food talks. I think it's absolutely critical that we bring together people to, drive home the message of urgency on the subject matter. And if I could just ask you quickly whether you can indeed see the slides.
Yeah, everything's fine here, Martina.
Not sure.
Everything is fine, Martina.
Yes, and also in the right sort of setup. Okay, good. With that, then, as you said, it is about setting the scene and coming forward with some key messages. And my first one is that indeed food loss and waste is a challenge of epic proportions. And globally, 1/3 of food is lost or wasted. And that means that throwing away food de facto is throwing away the resources that went into its production, both on the natural side as well as the financial resources. Food loss and waste, and you heard that already from His Excellency, the Minister, does account for 8 to 10% of all greenhouse gas emissions. But food systems are also responsible for 70% of water withdrawals. They use 38% of ice-free land, and they're linked to 60% of biodiversity loss, thus creating the risk of further zoonotic pandemics. But food loss and waste is also a major ethical issue. The food we do throw away is not getting into the circle and will not help with food security. But over 690 million people are hungry, and some 2 billion do suffer from malnutrition, while 3 billion are unable to afford a healthy diet. So that means we are not contributing to food security at the same time. Throwing away food also means that we do forego circular economy opportunities by not putting the produce to their highest value usages. On the contrary, if food waste ends up in landfills, it emits methane and thereby does not only not feed people, but also contribute to climate change. And this makes reducing food loss and waste an imperative to solving the 3 major environmental crises of climate, nature, and pollution, while at the same time providing sustainable, healthy diets for all. And put positively, reducing this current rate of food loss and waste by 50% could close the gap between food needed in 2050 and food available in 2010 by more than 20%. It could avoid the need to convert an area of natural ecosystems roughly the size of Argentina into this agricultural land, and that is in the period between 2010 and 2050. And it could lower GHG emissions by 1.5 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent per year by 2050. And that is more than the current energy and industry-related emissions of Japan. I think that tells us the size of the opportunity as well, not only the scale of the problem. The COVID-19 pandemic is exacerbating the food loss and waste challenge at every stage of the food value chain, making actions to reduce food loss and waste critical elements of any recovery effort as well. And the disruptions in the supply chains have already, made us rethink, and they have reinforced the value of locally produced foods. And we've seen a whole avalanche of new strategies, such as urban agriculture. They're coming up as part of circular economy strategies as well, changing consumer behaviors at the same time. and also providing a source of healthy food to those most vulnerable. And we've seen as well quite a bit of innovation in food donations and more resourcefulness in home kitchens. And as we have all been better at food management at home, and that shows that rapid change in processes and behaviors is indeed possible if we give ourselves the means, if we put our will and our minds to that. You already mentioned UNEP's role in tracking progress on SDG 12.3. And earlier this year, UNEP did launch indeed the Food Waste Index report, which is really one of our key contributions to measuring progress towards the achievement of SDG 12.3. And we do that alongside FAO, and FAO is responsible for the food loss indicator. And this food waste index provides global and country level food waste estimates based on best available data, and it does share a common approach for countries to measure and report on food waste under SDG 12.3. And with that, we do hope to close a gap in providing better indication of the scale of the problem. And here you see a few key findings of the report, and we have now evidence that the scale of the problem is bigger than previously thought, and that contrary to previous assumptions, food waste at the consumer level is indeed a global problem. We previously always thought, oh, food loss is more of a developing country and food waste more of a developed country problem. But we have seen that food waste is not limited to high-income countries. And well, the numbers are telling the story for themselves. 17% of all available food for human consumption is actually wasted. And we have numbers now in terms of food waste generated that vary from 61% coming from households, 26% from food service, and 13% from retail. And in the end, we come to 931 million tons. So quite a sizable problem. And I already alluded to the fact that we found some interesting numbers. And that means that the food waste is equally relevant in high, upper middle, and lower middle income countries. And we have a number of 74 kilos per person per year that is generated at household level. And that means more than the body weight of an average person. And it's clear with this report, we've seen measurement is so important to raise awareness, and with it, the willingness to act. If you don't know how big the problem is, you may not have the right incentives to take action, but also it helps to define the priority areas, the priority actions, to make sure that the measures are targeted. And measuring also allows to track progress over time and thereby assess the effectiveness of actions. And the list that you see is countries with high confidence food waste estimates, but that tells you as well that many G20 countries do not have baseline data or robust evidence. And to help address this, UNEP is setting up regional food waste working groups in Africa, Asia, Pacific, and Latin America, and the Caribbean, as well as in West Asia, to help countries to measure baselines using a globally applicable methodology and to support them in developing national food waste prevention strategies. And you see here the list of countries who are already part of these working groups. That's really getting going. And I would like to end with a call for action, and that call for action at several levels. One is about the nationally determined contributions, and food waste, despite its potential for multiple wins, in a way to change our course very quickly, it has so far been largely ignored in national climate strategies. That should be addressed. Countries must be bold and can seize these benefits by measuring food waste, integrating food waste into their national climate plans, and acting on sustainable cold chains. And on the right-hand side of the slide, you see a reference to a report that was done together with WWF It's about enhancing NDCs for food systems, and it does provide some recommendations on how to raise climate ambition in NDCs with regard to as well taking up food loss and waste. And last week, allusion was already made to the Food Systems Summit. A Food is Never Waste coalition was launched at that summit, and Denmark and another 11 countries, as well as the C40 group, were the first to signal their commitment to SDG 12.3 by joining this coalition, and we will hear about a little more as we go further. And another topic that was discussed both at the UN Food Systems Summit and at the high-level dialogue on energy is the need for a major boost to integrate sustainable cold chain. And here, the efforts of the Coal Coalition and the Africa Center of Excellence for Sustainable Cooling and Cold Chain, led by UNEP, can accelerate the uptake of sustainable cold chain solutions in the agriculture and health sectors throughout Africa and beyond. And I will end with this last slide, which is a bit of an announcement. Next week, we will host a webinar that will look at specifically financing food waste reduction, because that's one of the key barriers alongside the policy barriers as well. And to close with SDG 12.3, we have set ourselves a target to halve the per capita global food waste by 2030, and we all need to play our part. Just let's do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Martina Otto, and thank you very much for highlighting the importance of taking actions on this important area, and also for highlighting all the impressive work that was initiated last week with this new coalition. I'm really pleased to hear that this is going on a global scale. So I would just like to say very much thank you for an inspiring speech, for highlighting the importance of this area and also the opportunities, because that was actually what I took with me from your speech. We do have an opportunity if we do it now and if we do it together. So I hope you all feel inspired and to follow the recommendation from Mrs. Otto. Thank you very much for now. So I'm really excited to the conversation we are now going to have. Our next two inspiring guests will be sharing their views on what steps are necessary to take to solve this enormous challenge we've just been presented for in numbers. What is special with our next two guests is that they are dedicated to find actions and solutions to reduce food loss and waste. So with me today, and I'm really happy to present Liz Goodwin from World Resource Institute, first Senior Fellow and Director of Food Loss and Waste. And she also serves as chair of the London Waste and Recycling Board. And earlier in her career, she took the role as CEO at RAP. And during that time, the UK recycling rates increased from 9 to 43%, and food waste was reduced by 21% in 5 years. Also, groundbreaking collaborative agreements and schemes was born and flourished. And Dr. Goodwin is also a champion of the UN Sustainable Development Goal 12.3. Also with me today, I have Dr. Flemming Besenbacher, Professor of Nanoscience at Aarhus University and Chairman of the Carlsberg Group, Carlsberg Foundation. And today, he is with us in his role as Chairman of the Danish think tank, 1/3, on food loss and waste. Flemming Besenbacher is also a champion of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So welcome, both of you, and I'm really pleased that we have these distinguished guests with us today. And now we have Liz on the screen as well. So welcome, both of you. Thank you. Over many years, stakeholders has been working internationally to reduce food loss and waste. And many steps has been taken towards the 2030 agenda, but we're not there yet, as we just heard. What would be the action with the biggest impact to take the next important steps to reduce food loss and waste towards the 2030 agenda? And what are the obstacles to reach this? So, Flemming, I will give the word to you for begin with. So the title of this webinar is Innovations and Solutions for Preventing this Food Loss and Waste, a Sustainable Approach to the Supply Chain. So from your chair, what are the specific solutions, initiatives that should be taken and in order to create the most success?
Well, as a scientist, I must say that actually, and Liz has suggested this for many years, measure, target and act. When you start to measure the food loss, I mean, you are getting astonished, at least I was in the beginning, the size of this here. But if you start to measure it, then you can put targets and you follow up on these targets here. And the problem is that this is throughout the value chain. It's from sort of the primary sector, it's the retail sector, it's also now households. And just getting awareness and start to measure it, I think, is the most important thing. Secondly, I think, again, for the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, I keep saying that the most important one is number 17, partnerships. No one can do this alone. So this is sort of the business world, it's the academic world, it's also governments, the public sector and so forth, and civil society. When we all start to work together and having these common goals, I think we can manage this. I think what Liz and Rap have been doing, I'm really pleased to see that. And again, being a scientist, coming up with new innovative solutions, right? We can do it. I'm pretty sure we can do it. There has been obstacles. I think actually many businesses and governments was a little bit reluctant. But you know, when you see this 1/3, I'm also, as you said, chairman of the think tank, 1/3. 1/3 getting lost from farm to fork. I mean, this is not acceptable. And I think also, as was just said before, from an ethical point of view, we can simply not allow this here. And furthermore, I mean, if I as a scientist read the latest IPCC report, the climate panel reports, I mean, that's really scaring. I mean, if we're not doing anything, you know, we may be talking about temperature increases 3 to 4 degrees and so forth. And therefore, you know, we come to an era, at least as I see it, stop talking, acting. It's really time now, acting. And that means that farmers should act, retailers should act, scientists should act, and we should also. I mean, 1/3 of all food is getting lost at your and my home, right? I mean, this is also unacceptable.
Even though I'm quite happy I asked you this first question, Flemming, because you do have a positive approach, and I get the feeling that it is possible to reach the goal if we do what you highlight here.
We have to.
Yeah. But we need to get a comment from Liz on this one as well. So Liz, so happy to have you here from England, and we are very pleased that you're with us. So please, would you share with us what are the most important actions to be taken? Where do we create the most success? And maybe also, where do you see the obstacles?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and good to be here today. I think I'm going to reiterate a lot of the things that Flemming has said. There is no silver bullet to actually solving the whole issue of food loss and waste. I've been working in particular in the run-up to the Food Systems Summit for the last year, and we've been pulling together lots of ideas and trying to understand all the issues. And it's clear that, you know, food loss and waste has many contributing factors that cause it. It's never a single issue that needs to be tackled. There are all sorts of complexities around it. But fundamental to the whole piece is measurement. If you don't measure, you don't know where the problem is. But if you start measuring, you can see the problems. And that's why it's actually really interesting to see that UNEP report, the Food Waste Index, which is starting to show that actually household food waste isn't just a high-income country problem. It affects middle-income countries as well. So it's just by having those data insights that you can start to focus. Otherwise, you're fighting blind. You're just stabbing in the dark, going to the places you think there are problems. It's been really apparent to me over the last 15 years or so, working on the issue of food waste, that collaboration and communication and transparency are really important. For too long, there's been a lot of secrecy. People haven't wanted to, you know, even if they've been measuring, they haven't wanted to share their data, they haven't wanted to share their results. If you start getting transparency up and down supply chains, you can see that decisions made in one point of the supply chain are having an impact somewhere else. And people start to realize that they need to make a holistic decision that's based on the overall supply chain, not just on their own little bit of it. And that then sort of starts you going down sort of into things like contracts for people. Are they incentivized to optimize things in their little bit of the wood, or are they incentivized to optimize the supply chain overall? So I think data, collaboration, transparency are really important. And that's another place where innovation comes in. And the minister talked about apps and things like that, but the whole blockchain technology and the ability that AI is going to bring us in terms of increased transparency are really important. As part of the Food Systems Summit, we've been working on basically a cluster of initiatives that address all parts of the supply chain. So some around measurement, some around farm loss, some around the distribution, some around the supply chain, and some around the household, but also about making the food system more circular and the role of governments in terms of that and helping make sure you have the right policy framework.
Thank you.
A couple of other just quick points. We will not achieve the Paris climate targets without tackling food loss and waste. And so I think that's a real cry to action. And tackling food loss and waste is a truly multi-SDG action that we can take.
Thank you so much, Liz. And I would just like to bring into the conversation between both of you the fact that this is also a global issue. So even though the challenge is quite different in our part of the world than in other parts of the world, how can we share our experiences on a global level? Are these initiatives which we heard from Martina Otto, are they good enough, or do we need to do something else in order to make sure that we on a global level take the relevant and important actions? Flemming?
Well, I'm pretty sure that, first of all, I think that government has a huge issue here, and I think governments around the world have to put this on the agenda. There has been many countries, including Denmark, but also larger countries, put CO2 goals on 70% reduction in 2030 by the Danish government and so forth. And I see other countries, China and others, also now putting reductions. But as Liz is saying, we never reach these goals if we do not also include food loss and food waste. I think also businesses, this is also license to operate. I think it will not be acceptable that businesses is not incorporating that into their business strategy. And from a business point of view, again, I think Lisa and others has pointed out that actually investment in this area is actually paid back 14 to 1. So every dollar you invest in this area, you're actually getting paid back 14 times. So actually also addressing smaller businesses, larger businesses, saying this is actually a very good business case in doing this here. And finally, if we really are going to reach the Paris goals, which I hope we do, which I'm not sure we can, the 1.5, maybe 2 is more realistic. Big countries like China, US, Europe, Brazil, India, Russia, they have to get together and do something concerted effort here. And I think also sharing best practices. What we're doing in Denmark, I think the Danish minister, Danish businesses should travel around the world and also helping other developed countries to see what are you doing, what could that be relevant for you. So again, number 17, partnerships and communicating these things here.
Yeah, and that was also what you brought into the discussion before, Liz, the transparency and the communication, not to be keeping the knowledge to yourself, but actually sharing it. Would you like to share one good example of how to succeed across nations on a global level?
Well, I think as Flemming said, there's a lot of countries who put development aid into other countries, and there's a huge opportunity there. My discussions with member states as part of the Food Systems Summit is that there are some countries out there who are, they're desperate to learn from what others are doing. And they don't want to be lectured to, but they do want to learn from the experience. Even developed countries want to learn from the experience. There's a massive interest in the new waste law in China, the food waste law. What's that telling us? It might not be totally suitable in other parts of the world, but there are going to be some learnings and some lessons from that will be valuable to other countries.
Thank you very much, Liz. And luckily, both you and are working in organizations with exactly that perspective of sharing knowledge. So Flemming, very briefly in the end here, one good advice for public and private stakeholders in order to succeed in accelerating the reduction of food loss and waste. What would the first important step be?
Well, again, echoing what I said at the beginning, measure, target, act, but also innovation. I think really we can dream up new innovation here. That can be cooling innovation. It can be, I was also chairing a committee to the Danish government on circular economy, reduce, recycle, and these threes are and so forth here. And upcycling is again, nothing should be waste. I love the letter from the grandmother and so forth here, looking back. Nothing should be wasted here. It can all be upcycled and so forth, and that's really what we should do here. I see a lot of new technology. And final, digitalization. Yeah. In Denmark, we have this fantastic story here about 1/3 businesses cases here where Too Good To Go, for example, where you use the digital world actually to help reducing food loss and food waste. I think this is the way forward.
Yeah. And what about you, Liz? Do you have one short advice for the public and private stakeholders? Is it also this measurement, or would you like to highlight something else?
I think it is primarily measurement, but at the end of the day, as Flemming said, food should never be waste. It's a resource, and we need to find ways of valuing it and remembering how to value it. It's something we've lost over the last umpteen years, and we need to start to value it as a resource that is going to feed the world, especially when we've got 1 in 10 people going to bed hungry every day.
Thank you very much, Liz and Flemming. Thank you very much for sharing your good advice and experiences and taking responsibility in reducing food loss and waste. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you. So now we are honored to welcome 2 new guests in the studio. And I guess I can call them real action takers. They have taken important steps in their companies towards sustainable food production. And today they will share some of the specific actions and tools that they have been looking into in their companies, and also which will be taking us into the future of sustainable systems and reducing food loss and waste. So with me today I have Kim Vejlby Hansen, CEO at FOSS. FOSS is the leading global provider of analytics for the food and agriculture industries, and FOSS help producers maximize the value of their production while making the best possible use of valuable natural resources. Also, we have Mauricio Graber, CEO at Christian Hansen. And Christian Hansen is a global bioscience company that develops natural solutions for the food, nutritional, pharmaceutical, and agricultural industries. Christian Hansen has set an ambitious target to reduce yogurt waste in EU by 2 million tons in 2025. Welcome, both of you.
Thank
today.
You.
So Kim, how can a technology company like FOSS contribute to food loss and waste on a global level?
I think FOSS can contribute in many different ways. First of all, we make sure that the raw material is identified, the composition of the raw material is identified and analyzed so that it can be used the right way, meaning not starting up with something which is not going all the way through production. And when it comes into production, of course, we can make sure that the production is efficient and that the raw material is used to the maximum within whatever direction it is taken. So for us, it's a matter of classifying raw material, optimizing production, so that it is actually used best possible way. And of course, through that, minimize waste. Okay. On top of that, I think the future coming in with all the alternatives, new type of food materials, of course, we can make sure that the same processes actually apply for that, and that they sort of substitute the composition analysis for the human health as well, so that it's not just a substitute, but it's actually good in the long term.
Great, and we will get back to you to get a little bit deeper on how you do it. But for now, Mauricio, how is Christian Hansen contributing to reducing this food loss and waste on a global scale?
Well, Christian Hansen is focused, a bioscience company focused on our microbial and fermentation technology platforms. So we use good bacteria to address some of the world's largest challenges. And some of the topics were mentioned here before, right? 1/3 of food goes to waste, while over 900 people go to bed hungry every day. We need to work on both sides of the equation to have more food available through agriculture and make sure that there's less food that goes to waste. So basically, we can use good bacteria to address that food doesn't spoil and you can keep products fresh for longer. One of the things why food goes to waste is because of the labeling of best before date. So, we think we can add natural solutions with good bacteria to make sure that food doesn't go to waste. Many consumers would find a mold or something that has gone bad in your, a soft white cheese or in your yogurt, and then products get thrown away where they can be naturally protected by good bacteria.
So now we have two areas on the table. We have some good bacteria, the bioscience solutions, and we have the technological solutions from FOSS. So if you could elaborate a little bit more, Kim, on these technological solutions in order to take important steps towards this 2030 agenda. What do you see as the most important from your perspective?
I think the most important is, of course, also the most obvious one, meaning reducing waste. Reducing waste in production could be from human errors, compared to how we try to avoid that. It could also be from taking the wrong decision, not as an error, but simply through the fact that you do not have enough information around the material or the raw material you have. Or it could even be just the simple fact that you somehow produce in a wrong direction according to what is needed. If you take the initial one, human errors, we try to incorporate as much intelligence in our solutions, meaning that human errors will not impact. So if you go back, years back, you had to make a number of choices. You had to have educated users of analytical equipment. Nowadays, we try to make it so that you just put it in, press a button, get the result. Not everything else, but a result that is exactly the result needed to make the right decision in that step of the process within food production. And if you take the compositional part of it, I think we can all imagine what happens if we have a situation like we have in some countries where something is added to the milk that is not intended to be there and is actually not milk, so it's just added to have a higher price. And it makes, of course, the following production of whatever, cheese or yogurt or whatever, impossible. So we would like to avoid that, discover it, and take care of it before it actually ends up destroying, putting into waste a lot of raw materials. Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, the overall perspective, trying to optimize on a global scale. What is the understanding, what is the knowledge about how to produce right across borders, so that Denmark is not having knowledge which is not used for instance, in Pacific or the opposite. So we try to make it on a global scale, try to make this understanding of right production and optimized production available for all all parties or all companies within a specific industry, so that it can actually be used across borders.
So you help the users in every step of the value chain to eliminate the risks.
Everything we do in FOSS is to help our customers, and then we actually just ask for a small amount of money for it. It's very simple.
and data input, I guess, as well. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So Mauricio, these good bacteria, can you just take us a little bit further down the road with these good bacteria? What is it? How can they make us take these next important steps towards the 2030 agenda?
I think like everything in life, if it was a simple problem, we would have solved it already, right? So the thing with food loss and waste is a complex problem that requires a systemic approach. Industry plays a role, consumers play a role, government regulations play a role as well. So I think from Christian Hansen, we have a commitment to continue to developing good bacteria solution in our food cultures that can be added as a natural solution to prevent spoilage of food. And basically the way they work, if you think about it, is they prevent bad bacteria from developing that spoil the food. Now, in order for that to be implemented, you need to work with brand owners, with our customers, so that they can extend the shelf life of their products with confidence. And we have a strong belief that there's a regulation that should come along with it on the labeling, that you could have best before, often good after, right? And that's why we partner with companies like Too Good To Go, so there's less food waste, and educate the consumer that we make complex decisions every day, right? So you could make the decision of having a product, tasting a product, and knowing that it's still good for consumption, versus throwing it away.
So in that way, we kind of need to take action in all steps of the value chain. So even though you kind of balance the good and the bad bacteria very early in the supply chain, I need to take a responsible as well as a consumer, but I need some guidance. And this is where you kind of suggest this labeling. And we do have some good experiences on the milk cartoons in Denmark. So that's a good first step.
That's an excellent example, and working together with the regulators, right?
Yeah.
Many times I find that we are working on 21st century technologies with 19th century regulations. So everything needs to come along if we want to reduce food waste.
That's interesting. So we need to have the government perspective on this one as well. So Kim, could you elaborate a little bit more on the really exciting area within digitalization? I mean, we have heard from both Liz and Flemming that innovations are important to reach the goals. Yeah. And I know this is one of the areas that you're working really hard on.
But I would like just one step back and I'll answer the question. But when Maurice says this about the labeling and optimizing with bacteria, this is exactly the way we see it. Because if you can control the process in the future, not taking a sample out, but actually being there all the time, you can optimize it much more tight, and you can make sure that, but at the end, of course, you want a product that is as specified on the labeling, but you can actually do it without these variations, but you can be in control all the way through, and by that make a better usage. If I go back to the answer to answer your question before, with respect to digitization and all this, then I think there's a number of steps here actually. One thing is, of course, to add what we nowadays call artificial intelligence, but actually adding in on all the time available knowledge and understanding that can optimize, not going somewhere else, ask something while things is happening, but actually doing it on the spot. We incorporate such type of solutions in our offerings. And another thing, of course, is this about being connected in a broader scale. It could be across a production line, it could be across factories, but it could also be in networking for instance, dairies, for instance, grain traders, so that they actually align and optimize whatever they do in a more efficient way. So digitalization means this about integrate and connect. And on top of that, try to incorporate knowledge and nowadays called insight, meaning turn it into something actionable. So when you have a specific situation, where you have a supply, from one supplier you need, this is probably better going for that type of production or in that direction, and this is going in another way, and then you can actually use it for optimizing. So for us, digitalization means integrate and make it more intelligent, whatever you do on top of it. Not just an automated chemist doing his old wet stuff in a laboratory.
You have to use it in a very active and proactive way.
And add what we could call knowledge that can turn this into this information and data. Everybody talks about data, by the way. Data in itself is nothing. What is really interesting is what you do with the data. And that's one of the things we try to take. Okay, yes, we can provide the data, but actually on top of it, we can convert it to some insight, something you can act on.
Yeah, and this is what we need to act. And we heard that from the previous speakers as well. So, Mauricio Graeber, if you look into the future from the good bacteria perspective, what are your next steps? Can you share some of the thoughts you have on innovations on a value chain perspective?
So yeah, happy to do that. We continue to invest, in innovation, on finding ways that good bacteria can reduce food waste. And obviously our core is our dairy business, where we work with cheese, where we work with yogurt, where we work with many of those products. But good bacteria can be applied to many other food categories. For example, fresh produce, salads, salmon, and continue to use nature and good bacteria to reduce that aspect of food waste. We will continue to engage on that very closely with our customers, right? Because that's where things find their way to ultimately the consumer. And as well influencing with regulators so that natural solutions can have a faster regulatory approval and bring that to market. Thank you very much. That's really interesting. And what I think also is very interesting for
for the companies that you both represent is that you do have a global perspective in your everyday work on both companies. So shortly here, can you share one good advice to other private company leaders who would like to take action regarding the 2030 agenda? What do you say, Kim?
Actually, for me, it's quite simple, because it seems, for me at least, it seems from time to time that people think, okay, we can take the next step, let's wait and see what happens. And that's not a good approach. The only approach that works here is get started. Get into this. It's not going to disappear. You have to step in and get the best out of it. So get started.
Get started, yes. What about you?
I think in the conversations before, there was the element about the big opportunity that this represents, right? So in doing well while doing good, I think companies can take this total stakeholder approach and say the technologies that you bring to support the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and specifically to reduce food loss and waste, is a tremendous opportunity, right? To work sustainably and to bring this innovation and technologies path. So I think my biggest ask would be for everybody in the value chain to be engaged, to be part, to endorse and embrace these new technologies and finding ways to change the direction to deliver on our 2030 food waste and loss goals.
Thank you very much for sharing your good advice. And also, again, because both the companies that you represent do have a value chain perspective in the way you're working. So this is where you can really have an impact. So thank you very much for being with us today and sharing your insights and motivation for action. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.
So during this last almost 1 hour, we've all been inspired with actions that can contribute to reducing food loss and waste. We have heard about innovative solutions, technology, and collaboration as tools. Actions needed to reach a sustainable food system and a future, as we heard described earlier with the letter from the future, where we were on a journey to 2050. So I would like to highlight one issue that stands especially clear to me after this global food talk. We must all take action to combat food loss and waste along the supply chain. And we need to share our different solutions from all over the world. Food loss and waste know no borders. And in Denmark, we have products and technological experiences that we are ready to share. Saying that, it is clear to me that it is of uttermost importance that we are humble and realize that we cannot rely on one single solution and quick fix. No, we need continuously to evolve and develop solutions and technologies and move forward with collaboration and partnerships. The journey has just begun, and we all have an important role to play. So I hope you will join us on the next Global Food Talk, which have the title, Healthy Food for the Future, Powered by Partnerships, on November 3rd. This is held in connection with the COP26 in Glasgow, and Food Nations Global Food Talk is also linked up to the Nordic Talk program. So thank you very much for joining us today, and stay tuned on the Food Nation newsletter and social media to get the latest updates and to follow on the Global Food Talks, follow our events, webinars, and updates within the agriculture and food sector. Thank you very much for being with us today. Have a nice day.